I wonder if I am live here. Not sure yet. There it is, I think. Hi. I wanted to share with you, wanted to connect with you, and I wasn't quite sure how, or rather what to talk about. And that is because I'm having such an interesting experience these days of certain things that are visible and are being shared publicly, and other things that are not, at least where I am. The other things are also being shared, but not so openly, and that is very understandable. So, to give you an example, as you probably know, I am all about joy. I am all about supporting this community in opening to more joy, in awakening to joyful living, in becoming joy keepers. So whenever I speak of that, I receive some beautiful experiences from people that resonate with that and feel the joy in themselves and in their lives and share that. And that is so wonderful. You are so needed, and your ability to stay in joy is so important now more than ever. And then there are all those who do not comment and do not say anything. And some of them I meet in a different way. Some of them are my coaching clients, for example. And when we talk, it's in a more private space, and in that way, a space that feels more safe. And they share the challenges they experience now. Fear being one of them, and probably the most important of them, the biggest of them. And so we work with that. But what they also share with me is that they feel relief because we can talk about it. The thing is that there is something going on, at least on the surface of the spiritual community, which is a big thing, like millions of people, right? But let's just call it that. There's something going on that can give us a false perception, perhaps. And what is going on is that for the best of reasons, there is so much invitation to stay in the high vibration. Don't give in to fear. Don't give in to suffering as such, but stay in the high vibration and connect with God. And all those beautiful and true statements are there. However, this is not how life works. So many people experience right now, people in this spiritual community, people who are themselves coaches and practitioners and healers or speakers or teachers, they experience fear. You experience fear. And then you have all these messages that you're not supposed to be there. You're supposed to be somewhere else. And perhaps it speaks to part of your belief system even. And so you really try and you can't. And then you feel really defeated, perhaps, because your spiritual direction and journey tells you, I should not be in fear. I should be in the highest vibration. I should be in joy. I should be centered. I should meditate, etc., etc., etc. And at the same time, perhaps you feel that you can't. Perhaps you experience that your life is falling apart. Perhaps you experience that people that you care deeply about, your loved ones, are sick, or maybe you hear of people that pass away, and it feels like it's too early, and in any case, it hurts. And you see everything that's going on in the world, and you wonder about what's going on with what's going to happen with your financial situations. How are you going to cope? All this is going on, and it puts you under great stress, and there's more and more fear. And at the same time, there's this idea in the community that should be your support. There's this idea, not from all, I'm sure, but from certain spiritual leaders, saying that you shouldn't be going there. So I'm here to say that yes, you should, and you can, and it doesn't mean that we will stay there forever. There's nothing wrong with your life. There's nothing wrong with moving through fear, moving through despair, moving through doubts, moving through darkness. There's nothing wrong with that at all. On the contrary, we move through suffering as a way of exploring it, of a way of getting to know certain areas of our lives. What happens right now with this whole corona crisis is it's a global transformation. I think more and more people see it, and it's also a personal transformation. Where transformations don't happen by trying to get away from what is calling for transformation. They don't happen by us running away from what is calling for our attention. When there is fear, when there is lack, when there is loss, this is all something that was there already. And then life happens and triggers it, but it has lived within us already. So basically, we are being invited to look at it and move through it, and if needed, get some help so that you can move through it. But it is not about jumping into high vibration. It is about meeting it. And there is nothing wrong with you. There's nothing wrong with you for a certain period of time suddenly not being able to do your spiritual practices because you are overwhelmed. You have a good reason not to. There's too much going on. You're under stress. That's one reason. The other reason, as I see it, is that it actually helps you really dive into it. You know, if you take all your light with you and look at darkness, there's no darkness there. There's no darkness there. So you cannot really explore it if you're fully connected. You actually need to disconnect in order to see that part of you. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But this is how it works. There are periods of our lives where we are being disconnected from our source to a certain degree so that we can experience the pain that has lived in that pocket and that has been seeking our attention. And now it has found our attention. And now it's time to deal with it, to work with it. And there are different ways of working with it. You're not going to stay there. And as you move through it, and in the ways you move through it, then you can slowly but surely, through patience, through work, through honesty with yourself, you can be guided into the higher vibration, which is your true nature, but not as an escape from what is there. On the contrary. So I really want to be this voice for you, for those of you who don't say anything in comments because perhaps you feel that this is embarrassing, or you should be more enlightened, or you should be more together, or you shouldn't be afraid, or you shouldn't be desperate, or you shouldn't be confused. Everything you are is fine. This is the experience right now. This is the experience right now, and it will not last. It will not last, but it is to be experienced, and there's nothing wrong with it, and it doesn't make you any little bit less spiritual than you are, because of course you are. And you will be moving through it, and I hope you will reach out for help if I can be of help, and I can many times. Reach out, we'll find a way to make it happen. And if others can be of help, reach out to them, get all the help that you need, move through it with patience, with dedication, with surrender to what is, and you will be okay. You will come out the other side, as we all will, as humanity, as this 1% culture that is really experiencing great challenges all of a sudden, and as a world, we will come on the other side of it. We will learn, and we will return on a higher level, but not by suppressing anything and not by hiding anything. So know that there is nothing wrong with you. You are on your way. And however the landscape looks right now, this is how it looks, and you're moving through it, and you are not alone. Okay? I love you. And I look forward to keep connecting with you. Oh, and by the way, I have some different ideas on how I can offer support these days. So, and I'm playing with some different ones, and I'm not sure, but I'm going to ask you, perhaps here on my timeline, perhaps in the Joy Keepers group. So keep an eye on it and let me know what would work best for you. Thanks.